Sweden is a country full of innovation. So here nothing is impossible. So with this typical Swedish triple helix model that involving government, company and culture, academy, and nothing is impossible. So if we talk about something impossible, I think all of you have been playing this, Magic Cube. So it's really hard to make 6 parts the same. I wouldn't say impossible, it is impossible for me to do it. But there we have a very interesting theory about it. So everybody can make 1 page the same. Remember what we said, the red color symbolizes culture, so you can start it by playing piano to become a piano player, to become a world famous one. So you can develop more and more red, but still it will be interesting to develop also a little bit blue part for business, have more business sense, and why not become a politician and to help even more people and do something for the society. So, but it's very hard to make 2 parts the same and 3 parts the same. So a lot of people think that the meaning of this game is to make all the parts, all the 6 parts the same. It's almost like in life, you try to get a lot of money, nice family, develop your own career, develop your hobby interest, and maybe have your own company. And it's very, very tiring. So that's why we make a lot of stress, a lot of worries in our daily life. And you have to solve all these IT problems and building Facebook and having suddenly a LinkedIn page, a Facebook for your own personal page, a Facebook for your company, and suddenly something called Twitter comes out, and suddenly I have to learn how to send group emails and have to do some social media and all of you name it. It's too complicated. And when do we have to produce things? When do we have time to produce, to do something real? So, but to make the 6th part the same, there are 2 other ways. One is to follow instruction, learn how to do it technically. It's not fun. And the second part is like I did when I was a kid. So cheating, take out this part, put it together, to put it to another part, and at the end, everything breaks. So this is not a sustainable society. It doesn't go, life cannot go on like that. So that's why we have developed a special yes theory. And we have our own magic cube, which has only 3 colors. And these 3 colors, again, symbolize government, culture, and business. And the meaning of this is not to have any part the same, but it's a little bit mix of all the colors. For example, like this. So if we talk about this Expo event, what we're doing now is a government event. We have linear flowers, and also we have companies involved. So certain moment we will have more government-orientated work, and certain moment we're going to have more, let's say, culture involved. Like this. So I think this is very interesting. If we have time, we can talk more about it. And but if you understand the trick of involving both government, company, and culture, I think we're going to get a real yes in many, many ways. So, participating of this Expo 2014, so we have 3 different products. One is the Expo event. During the event, we're going to promote Sweden, promote Swedish culture, and communicate with China and celebrate the new cooperation between Sweden and China. Meanwhile, we connect you with 30 different professional fairs. And we will help you to join the fair and to have your own stand and have matchmaking with potential Chinese customers. And you're going to celebrate this special new cooperation with different events in the pavilion. And also there is a special designed Expo tours of 9 days business-oriented tour that you will increase your China know-how, and you're going to review your own Swedish identity, which is different than the normal sightseeing trip in China, and is very business-oriented. And if you look for suppliers in China, we can guarantee you, please remember this, we can guarantee you will lower your shopping prices or purchase price at least 10% If we don't fit that, if we don't manage to do that, you don't have to pay to us. Well, this presentation is getting too American, too commercial, but it's true because we have been developing this for the last 50 years by serving Chinese government delegation groups and companies. So we have a very broad contact with China. So we will get a lot of help from the local Chamber of Commerce and the local government. And it's very interesting to understand this cooperation between government and companies, because as a Swedish company, if you only sell your product there, it's very easy that Chinese market probably think is not very local adapted, it's often too expensive, and the risk is getting quite high to purchase a Swedish product. And meanwhile, the Swedish companies worry that if the product will be copied or it will be sold in another way that you prefer. That's why it's very important to involve the government there, because when the politicians have this official talk, they decide the framework, and then they make sure that there will be a fair play. And the Chinese politician actually is the best door opener and then the best customer you probably can have. And with their introduction, your product will have a very little chance to be copied, because they are interested to present the Swedish corporation, not only to get the most profit from the product. So that's why the government cooperation is a very good introduction. And afterwards, by adding the culture aspects in that, you are going to higher your values. So the Chinese will understand, if they understand the value of Swedish culture, they understand why the Swedish products will get higher price. So Volvo is a great example. So because first of all, it's government involved, and then when the Chinese are buying Volvo, a company, they're not only buying Volvo cars, but they're buying the safety, the innovation, the tradition, and the culture from Sweden. So that's why the car is more expensive as well. Meanwhile, the Chinese market is has a high demand, so Volvo will getting more business and sell more cars in China. But of course, then in our turn, that we need to think more about the environment, and that we will have more business. So it's like a chain, but you have to understand the connection between each part. So everybody will win in this game. So, and after the Expo, then the Swedish company will be able to enter the Shandong as a new market and cover the, even enter more markets in China. And there is already a great interest to introduce the Swedish model to the Chinese cities and to build a Swedish city like they did in Shanghai, the Sigtuna Stad. A city is called City of Mälaren, which is amazing because I'm living in Västerås, it's a Mälar city, and there in Shanghai there is a City of Mälaren. So I think we're going to see more examples after the Expo 2014, because more cities will get fascinated with the Swedish way of thinking and the Swedish way of building cities, and we will be able to introduce more Swedish know-how to China.